But in singles play, you really can build up a little rhythm, as we see the break once again from Thorpe. And you don't get distracted with your partner talking to you.
Yes, it grazed the orange 5 ball and stopped it in the middle of the table, the two. Manna from heaven.
Yeah. 3-9. Whip it like fashion, Thorpe.
Extension called.
Big shot.
It's enough.
Carrying right through from where he and his partner provided the initiative in the last one. Billy Thorpe secures the first rack here against Kaci. The two players just during that short break, Phil, one looked determined, the other scared for me. And Kaci, I mean, our colleague Alex Lely has said that Kaci is very strong, very strong and sound mentally. He's never experienced anything like the Mosconi Cup. But you don't become the world #1 with luck.
He's got the tools, it's just a matter of whether he can harness them. Over the last 18 months, he's had a fantastic time. He broke through by winning the Aramith Masters on the World Pool Series, beat Carlo Biardo in the final of that one. That was in April 2017. US Open runner-up last year also. He won the Treviso Open in Italy this year. And in fact, he qualified for the European team with 2 events to spare. That's how many points he was racking up. And yet here, well, not being unkind, he's looked vulnerable.
This is the tonic, though, for an ailing Kaci. Get that back arm oiled. And knock some balls in. Remind yourself what you're capable of. And find that self-belief.
Extension called.
Just got to avoid the 9 here. Either draw above the 9 or stun below it. Nice and still. Always a good sign when you're delivering the cue. Well, Phil, we knew what he could do. We just hadn't seen it. Now he's given everybody an indication.
And after that, if he carries on, you get the feeling he could go from vulnerable to victorious. That's more like it. Seen so often, if a player can get the monkey off his back and get a match win under his belt, he comes back the next day a different animal.
Settle down, please. Hang on. Honestly, guys, we need to be quiet. I'm not going to do it again.
Referee
nice
Nigel
when it plays
Rees
a shot.
again
Don't
just
spoil it for
calling
everybody.
order, as our officials will do. It gets a little too rowdy in there. You've got to give these players the respect they're due. But it's back now to Billy Thorpe. We'll see if he can reply in kind. One just slithering past the 7. And a tailor-made break here for Thorpe.
Yes, it was the last ball rolling, and it just emerged from the back of that brown 7 ball to Thorpe's great gratitude. I thought for a split second there he might have really hampered queuing, but again, the wire just travelling sufficiently. Maybe a centimetre enough.
Yeah, he'll want to try and reach this. Again, he's circling around the table. That might look like wasted movement. This is gathering himself, composing himself. No, he's not caught that one as intended. There was no spin on that cue ball at all. Well, he was nervous, and he gave us an indication of it.
I think that was a matter of balance. He seemed to me as though he was off balance. Dug into the shot, and hence self-imposed snooker, self-imposed hook.
Yeah, that's a good observation, Phil. He didn't look settled on that shot at all. You know, has he been lucky? No, he is not. Well, these are the opportunities that Kaci needs to take advantage of. Nice confident strike there. That look of determination hasn't left Thorpe's face, but in your chair doesn't have the same gravity. Doesn't look like the same player for the from the doubles, Phil, does it?
Well, yet another indication of just how quickly things change in the Mosconi Cup. I was as guilty as anyone. I was using the word vulnerable at the start of the previous rack. That word is now entirely redundant.
He's got a bit of a snooker background and fundamentally solid. 2-1, the mistake punished. Europe back on song. And the fans here at the Alexandra Palace.
Thank you.
It's the fourth rack of our last match on day 2. The best that Europe can hope for is 5-5 overnight. And a dry break, is it? 9 balls on the table.
The 6 just flicked the 8. Has it flicked it enough? Don't think so. There's the answer. But the bank was available. Alex was making the point earlier that the portion of the United States where he's from, bank pool, is massive. The Derby City Classic attracts hundreds of entries to the bank pool division. I think it was 470 last time or something ridiculous.
Watch the cue ball. Slightly lost it there. It's going to take a good shot to retrieve ideal position. And that caused an anxious moment or two.
In the doubles that preceded this, on a couple of occasions Thorpe potted balls. Okay, they went in, but that shoulder was involved, and I think it was there as well. Just needs to keep that physical movement under control. The more still you can keep the head, the better it is.
Helpless in his chair. Now Thorpe's turn to shine.
The moral of that story, Jim, breaking dry is not recommended. 2-2.
USA to break. 2-2.
Only attacking option following this break, and a good one, is going to be a combination. So how do you feel, Billy Thorpe? He's feeling pretty good, Phil. And I think he's nudged this one out far enough where it'll pass.
Well, win or lose, I like his attitude. He
Settle down
genuinely
a bit,
seems to be
please.
enjoying himself.
Settle down a bit.
That smile sometimes is forced on the faces of Q Sports exponents, but I think with him it's genuine.
No.
In times past, the visiting American team on these shores seemed intimidated by the hostile reception they get from the crowd. This team looks very different.
This looks like a different mindset to me. A little more focused, a little more confidence, more self-belief. You know, a lot of that falls to the captain and co-captain, Johan Ouschan and Jeremy Jones, the two gentlemen right there in the middle of your screen bottom.
Jones on the left said that when he was watching last year's Mosconi Cup in Las Vegas, he felt like cringing. He's not cringing now. He's loving it.
Settle down, please. Settle down, please.
Easiest of nines. To reestablish that one rack advantage in the race to 5. 3-2. USA and Billy Thorpe looking for a 2-point overnight lead. I think both of them understand the magnitude of this situation.
When you analyse the Cup overall, Jim, when the final ball spotted on Friday, you might well recall this match as being one of the pivotal moments.
Very true, Phil. Very true. If USA win this match and go on to win the Mosconi Cup in its 25th anniversary, there's a lot of people that are going to remember this match. And that's the task at hand right now for the world number one. Beautiful break. Wide open look at the two. The table is set.
One break and run out to his credit already in this match, and really this should be the second.
May have just stopped in time. It's close. Well, looked like he was getting down to shoot the three. I'm not sure he can see enough of it, Phil. Well, there you go. If he makes this, he's going to have to spin that cue ball. Just slightly overhit that. Just a bit too much adrenaline in that back arm.
Yes, and because of the generosity of the pockets, he got quite a wide margin of error there.
He spun it enough. Nicely retrieving the situation. And this was all about speed too. You had to allow that spin to take. That was a great recovery shot. Don't know what to say. He shakes his head after such a great shot, Phil, to throw it away.
Well, look, let's not put too fine a point on it. That was just awful. Awful. The product of pressure.
No other explanation. A miss that he and Europe won't forget soon.
Well, in the second rack of these doubles with Shaw, Kaci missed the 8-ball across the top rail playing position. That miss was much worse. Well, he was a little snatchy on it, Thorpe, but it went in nevertheless, and he ain't missing this.
And listen to him. 4-2. One rack win away from an overnight 6-4 lead to Team USA.
When he puts his head on the pillow tonight, he'll be thinking about it, especially if he loses.
Phil, he's just played a shot he won't forget for the rest of his life.
So just the 7 disappearing, but there's a clear shot on the 1.
Kaci thought that it was a dry break, and Billy Thorpe reminded him he made one in the side pocket. He is, it does sum up the night that the world #1 is having. Two over on the left-hand side of the table as we look. There's an awkward ball right now. Kaci is just having a look. It doesn't pass the 3. Shot on the 1 won't do his flagging confidence any harm. This is a very tough shot here. Faces him now, Phil.
Extension call.
And the way he's looking at this, he's going to try and make that 3. So into the cushion on the line that he's showing you. He's got the 9 as a bit of a buffer. If he does overhit the 2 somewhat, the 2 can go off the 9 and knock the 3 in. He played it as though he left it to chance whether he was going to have position on the 2, and he doesn't. Oh, is there a possibility of making the 6 here? Is the 2 in front of the 6 enough where he can play the billiard and try and get the 6 into the side? He was far enough ahead of it, but again, he's going to have to pull another rabbit from a hat.
That 9 ball just keeps obstructing.
I'll tell you, the shots that we've seen from Eklent Kaci in this rack, this will be one of the best runouts you will have ever seen. He's still got to complete it though. But he's shown us everything, Phil. Combinations, billiards, jump shots, and banks.
Settle down, please.
And yet one more billiard. Doesn't mind seeing that disappear. What a performance to stay in the hunt.
From the man who missed a sitter.
Decided to remind us how he got to the world #1 ranking yet again. Tricky 9. He's got to have it. What an out from Eklent Kaci there. As good an out as you're ever going to see in a Mosconi Cup. Keeping European hopes alive in the last match on day 2. Well, to be a great player, Phil, you do have to live in the present. We say it all the time. And if greatness awaits this young man, the youngest ever to compete in the Mosconi Cup,
Rack 8. You're up to break. Training 3 racks to 4.
he'll build from all these memories, good and bad.
Settle down then, please.
A wall of balls as Europe look on, creating the total eclipse right now for Eklent Kaci to the 1.
If Europe could win this match 3 weeks before Christmas, it would be the ultimate bonus.
Push out cold.
Well, he's just given a different angle to the 1. Billy Thorpe will have a look at it. It's going to be a kick no matter what. Can't see him taking it on.
Reset the clock, please. Start the clock, please.
So what did the 19-year-old have in mind?
Extension code. It's enough.
Crowd will tell you what they think of that effort. '25th year This event has been in existence, and only one Mosconi Cup separate them. 12-11 with one tie favoring Europe. America wants to try and put that right. We all know, we all remember they owned this event in the early days. Well, that's an effort. And a long look at the three. No mean feat to knock this one in. But he's still at the table. For discretion, as he left path between the 7 and the 9 to be able to strike this 3. It's very close.
The onset of the beeps there made him rush that shot.
Two-cushion escape. Yeah, that was close. And because it was played at speed, rightfully so, I think referee Nigel Reese wants to have a look at that. And I don't blame him. Let's look. Just caught the 3 first. But close enough to have a better look. Great shot from Thorpe.
Yes, and the cool head of Nigel Reese calling for the replay just to make absolutely sure.
Never easy. Cue ball could have stopped just about anywhere on the path it just took, but there. He's still not going to be happy with that effort at all. You've got to expect Billy Thorpe to knock this in, even though he can't see it.
Not Jim. Kaci's favourite pocket, that.
Or his favourite ball.
That's enough.
Doesn't want to be straight on this. Well, he can get his cue hand on the table. If he is straight, he's going to have to try and draw this back. Unwanted contact on the 7.
Kaci in his chair, gripping like he's on an aeroplane with turbulence.
Thorpe smiling, used all of that pocket, and it's still not easy.
Ooh, it was a very acute angle. The cue ball just missed the middle. The 8 is in, and the 9. Here the Americans whoop. Billy Thorpe, come on down. Fantastic stuff. It was 3-2 last night for the Americans. It's 3-2 this evening also. And the sum and substance is they're more than halfway to overall victory.